Back here on the Rich Eisen Show, our buddy Taylor Lewan. Taylor, do I even need to ask you a question? Do you just want to go? What do you think?
Yeah. You're having a little laugh during that soundbite. You like that, huh? Yeah. And man, it's just the reality of the situation. I can't have the penalties I've had. It's crazy. The drive stalling, just killing. I mean, our offense had a hard time getting going this year, and it definitely doesn't help with me coming back after 4 games and having the amount of penalties I've had. I mean, taking responsibility. It's not hard for me to do because I know it's an issue. You know, I mean, my job, my thought process has always been to play as hard as I possibly can, always. And you know, I had a stupid flag. I had a stupid flag, a holding, and a false start yesterday. So 3 penalties, just absolutely ridiculous. And you know, I know Titan fans are not too happy with me right now, and I know my teammates shouldn't be happy with me. But I'm definitely. I think I said later in the interview, I'm not even holding my wife's hand this entire bye week because I don't want to get a holding call. That's how bad I want to stop these damn penalties.
Well, Taylor, you know,
I won't even do it.
I don't
flag,
even,
baby. I'm not doing it.
You know how
my
it
wife
works.
posted a picture of me last night on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was a penalty flag 2 years ago as a joke, and she posted it and said I thought Halloween was over.
Wow.
And here we are with more penalties. I know. My wife's chirping me now.
No, I know that. But, Taylor, you know how it works. You can grab for just a split second, then you got to let go. You know what I mean? So you can hold your wife's hand for just a little bit and then let go. Let go so you're not called, you're not flagged for it, you know?
Yep.
But I don't want to tell you how to do your
out.
job. You know, but, again, it's just so when do you – obviously you're in the flow of a game and it's exciting the way that you guys won. But then when does it hit you that, oh, gosh, I know I need to talk about this stuff, and then you were going to handle it that way? Walk me through your process, Taylor, post-game.
Well, I'll tell you, when you get a penalty, the biggest thing you need to do is move on. Because if you start focusing on things, plays start to add up. That happened to me this week. I had a personal foul. I tried to push the guy into the pile after the whistle was over. It was stupid. And then we call a screen to the left where I get out, and I look at the safety, and I see the coverage. I'm like, oh, my God, you're about to make up for everything. Here we go. Time to save the day. Jono gets the ball, gets upfield. Amazing. I get on this safety. I start driving him. He tries to get off. I put him in the ground, and there's another holding call. So you can't let those things stack up. I'll tell you what, it's just – It's a frustrating thing, and once the game was over, I knew I had to talk about it because I know it's a problem, and I have no issue talking about a problem if there is one. But when you're in the game, I mean, when those things happen, you got to move on and try to make up for it. You know, later down the line with good pass protection, giving Tanny time, or a good run block to go for a touchdown. So, I think the next series actually. We ran one play for that long Derrick Henry touchdown,
right? And
I went off, and I told the O-line, "Thank you so much for me not looking like a complete a-hole, saving me for those penalties, boys. I love you guys." So, I mean, I'm very aware. I got to be better, man. I really do.
So before we turn the page on this subject, you mentioned at the top of your soliloquy here on this show that you missed the first 4 games due to suspension, and that was in that 4-game period where even fellow Michigan man Tom Brady had to tweet out about all the flags for holding, like, hey, I got to turn the game off. Is it possible that you're going through the adjustment period now that the rest of the league went through for the first 4 weeks on this subject?
Yeah, I mean, first off, that's a tough question to answer after you just took responsibility for everything, and then to go say, well, yeah, that probably, Rich. I don't want to be sure that everyone knows I'm taking responsibility. But in a lot of ways, there are things when you don't play for 4 games, you miss out on a lot of stuff. And so I got to be better about those things. It's a different league than even when I first got here, my first year. There's so many different rules now and different ways you have to block guys and all that. It's really different now. And, I mean, I am adjusting a little bit, and I'm sure – I'd like to think it wouldn't be as bad if I started with the first 4 games, but the reality is I'm in the position I am with as many penalties I have in the last 5 games, and it's just got to be better, or 6 games. So, I mean, responsibility, you guys got to take it and move on and keep going.
Taylor Lewan, Titans offensive lineman here on the Rich Eisen Show. Take me in the locker room here with a quarterback switch. That can't be easy. It's got to be certainly for an offensive lineman potentially awkward. How has that been in terms of the transition from a guy that you have known to win games for you, playoff game, as a matter of fact, with Marcus Mariota, and now Ryan Tannehill, who has 3 comeback wins in his first 4 games here?
Yeah, I mean, first off, Marcus is anyone who's ever met him knows he's the nicest guy in the world, and he is a pro's pro, man. He handles everything with grace and poise, and I don't think there's another person that would be handling the situation as good as Marcus has handled it. He's in it. He's around just as much as he was before. I think after my penalties yesterday, Marcus even came up to me and was like, "Hey, man, it is what it is. Like, you just got to keep going, keep being yourself." Like, he's still leading this team from a back seat, and so he's done a great job. And Tanny's come in and he's lit a spark, and he sits in that pocket, man, and he moves in that pocket so well, and he just rips some balls. So both those guys have done an amazing job, and I'm very proud of both of them.
And in terms of, from 5-5, Super Bowls have been won from this position, Taylor. What are you guys talking about in the locker room as you head to your bye week after a win over the Chiefs and the defending MVP coming back from an injury that everybody thought would just put the Chiefs back in the driver's seat and the winning seat?
Yeah, I don't think anybody believed we were going to win that game except for the guys in the locker room before the game. And so just to go out there, it did not start well. The way to beat the Chiefs is to keep their offense off the field and to run the clock out, run the ball. And we didn't do that at all. They killed us in time of possession. Our defense was on the field. They had like 80 plays. And our offense, we scored points. We just ended up scoring points when it mattered, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal for the boys right now. It's a good going into the bye week with this kind of energy. We've needed this. But, like you said, Super Bowls have been won this way. If you're 5-5, I think the only goal right now is to go and be consistent, because that's what the Titans haven't been, at least since I've been here, is the ebbs and flows of you got to win, then you go down, and it's like, all right, well, we lost, or another loss, and then you go 2 wins. And so being consistent, we're in the back half of the season, and there's, everything we want is still up for grabs.
Yeah, the last 6 games, 4 are in division, home for Jacksonville, at Indianapolis. 2 of your last 3 are against Houston, which is currently winning the division. And then the other games, you're visiting Oakland, which may be a potential wild card tiebreak for you guys if the division doesn't wind up somehow in your back pocket. And then home for New Orleans. Those 6 games, those are 6 serious games. You can make some hay, no doubt about that, against some serious opponents, Taylor. There's no doubt about that. No question. Obviously, you want those 5 games we wish we had back in certain ways, so we'd be in a better position. But it is what it is. And right now, all that matters is those next 6 games, and it starts with Jacksonville next week. Okay, man. What are you going to do in the bye week? I think you kind of texted me that, but I'll just walk you through to the next thing I want to talk with you about. What are you doing in the bye week, Taylor?
Oh, baby, we're going to Michigan. I'm going to Michigan for the Michigan State game. Fantastic. And we're going to dummy those fools. They have no idea. It's going to be amazing.
You know what? What Michigan can do is continue the momentum that they've been building since the second half of that Penn State game. And essentially, even though Michigan State has said completely otherwise, essentially end the D'Antonio era, which, has been a thorn in the side of Michigan, not the last 2 out of the last 3 games, but it's been a thorn in the side, Taylor. This is big. Yeah. This is very, very big coming at this weekend.
This is a big deal. I would never wish someone would get fired or anything like that.
Not.
But if D'Antonio wasn't at Michigan State, it'd probably be a lot better for us, especially when I was there at Michigan. It did not go well for the boys. But ever since that second half of the Penn State game, they seem like a totally different team. Like I went to the first game of the year. I think it was against Middle Tennessee. Kevin Byers still owes me money for that game. We'll talk about that later in the locker room.
Nice.
But I watching that game, I'm sitting with my wife. It was literally the first game I ever been back to, and since I've left, and I was like, it looks sloppy. It didn't look clean or crisp. And then after, like you said, that second half of the Penn State game, everything just seems like it's starting to click. The flow of their offense, their defense is killing it. So, they need to go win this game. Rivalry games, it's always a toss-up, but they need to go win this game by a significant margin and get it going. And then obviously you have the big one against Ohio State, and that's a big one. They're playing as good football as I think any team is in college football right now.
Well, your head coach, I'm sure, will let you know about that one when that one rolls around, Taylor.
I watched the game with him last year. Top 5 worst experiences of my life. He was so condescending. He was talking at me, not with me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh yeah, good. You guys are going to give up a sack there. That's great. I'm sure that's good for morale on your sidelines." Just like talking to me like that.
That?
Oh, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, but what am I going to say? I was 1-3 against Ohio State. I was 1-3 against Michigan State. I mean,
it's retortless.
I
You're
got nothing to
retortless.
say.
I know it's so difficult to be retortless. Are you going to be around the team at all? Is you going to see Jim? What do you got this coming weekend?
I'm going to go out there. I think if they got recruits, man. I'm a recruit guy. When I was at Michigan, man, I was the ace in the hole. I was the finisher.
How do you mean? What do you mean?
Took the guys out. We had a great time. I had commitments everywhere, man. So I'm going to go in there, shake some hands, kiss some babies, and hopefully get a couple commitments.
Get a little commitment. Hey, Taylor. And again, that's good for holding right there. Hold on to them and don't let go on that front.
I won't even hold them. I'm not even going to shake their hand, actually.
And last thing, have you put a motor in the bus for your podcast, Bussin' with the Boys? Does the bus move yet, Taylor?
So the bus is a rust bucket. It's beautiful. We love it so much. I just bought a Cummins diesel engine for it, and the first stop this bus is making is in L.A. to see you.
Okay.
It'll be done in January. Yes, we're getting mobile, baby. Subscribe, rate 5 stars. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Okay,
so now, because this is what I counseled you to do when you were on our show at the draft last year in Nashville, which was, by the way, amazing. That was just amazing, the draft in Nashville. Oh, my God. I can't wait for the draft to go back there. I told you to put an engine in the bus, and you're finally going to do it. So here's what we could do. You bring the bus right here. We can clear it to come right here on the campus here at AT&T because, honestly, I don't want to go any further than the front door here. We'll park it here, and then we'll tape it here. How does that sound? We'll record the pod here in the bus.
I'm electrostatic about all of that. Let's do it.
Taylor.
We're in. But let me focus on these next 6 games.
Okay, brother. You got it.
Get these playoffs.
Well,
and then, hey, we'll be bussing.
Next 7 games, you got one this weekend in Ann Arbor, and I want you to bring all your energy to that one too, Taylor.
You're right. Yeah, I'll leave the penalties behind me.
You got it, bro. Thanks for the call.
You guys have a good one.
You too. That's at Taylor Lewan on Twitter and at Taylor Lewan on Instagram. Follow him on both. You should.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.